Yes, yes, yes. Everyday superpower. We're going to continue talking about dating. If you missed episode 1, I'm doing a little series. Such as the job interview body language series, we're covering the bases that you need to know. So you can be observant and you can be successful and you can be more fluid with your interactions and friendships and relationships, essentially. You can get yourself more, you can understand more, and you can make people happy as well as yourself. You can give people what they want, such as you can get what you want, right? That's the whole point. We're not here to be selfish. So dating, right? We started off with dilation of the pupils. Today we're going to generalize it a little bit and we're going to look at pacifying behaviors, okay? So to put it simply, we're just going to call it fidgeting. We're just going to call it, nervous tics, and we're going to call it, I don't know, you call it whatever you want to call it, right? But we're speaking on behaviors such as, playing with the fingers, playing with the hair, scratching the back of the neck, rubbing the hands on the legs, slowly caressing the neck. Yeah, I mean, I will break this up a little bit more, but we're going to look at it generally right now. And not only that, I have isolated all of these behaviors in earlier videos. So if you want to look at the catalogue of videos on this channel and just go through everything one by one, you'll become a maestro, in all honesty. Re-watch the videos, re-listen, okay? Educate yourself. And you'll be able to internalize the patterns you see in your day-to-day when you start to apply this. So, nerves and anxiety are not, I was going to say, not necessarily bad things. Like, in my opinion, it's 90% good things, alright? If you provoke anxiety and nervous energy within the person you sit opposite across, whether you're dating a fella, whether you're dating a woman, alright? If you look over and you're engaging and you're creating that energy, alright, it's not a bad thing. And in a way, it's only natural. If they've got something to prove, something to put forward, if they care, they probably will be nervous, a little bit anxious, to whichever degree, alright? And how that energy chooses to manifest itself varies from person to person, but considering we all sort of share the same body for the most part, we have 5 fingers on each hand, we have a neck, we have a head, you know what I mean? We have shoulders, legs, feet. We sort of start to establish and see patterns of particular gestures and movements and behaviors that conjure from person to person. Now, one person might release this nervous energy through a rubbing of the fingers together. Some people might release this nervous energy by rubbing their fingers through their hair, whether it be stroking the hair and slightly tugging at the hair to engage the sensitive nerve endings of the head, or brush their hands through the hair to allow more air to get to the head, considering blood pressure is raising and I'm getting a bit hot under the collar, right? And in saying hot under the collar, maybe you see them loosening their collar a little bit as they try to calm themselves down and then allow more cool air get to them, alright? They're under pressure, they're hot. You make them hot, right? How it manifests itself will be different between each person, but you have to understand that at the end of the day, this behaviour is there to cool one down. For the most part, they will self-touch in a manner that stimulates nerve endings, right? That creates pacifying energy. A chemical resolution to the issue at hand. The problem has been created, and that's They feel uncomfortable around you in the most positive way, because pressure's on them to do a good job. So they will touch themselves in a certain way which may be reminiscent of how they were touched in childhood, by the parent holding the hand, the mother stroking the hair of the girl, the father rubbing on the shoulders of the man to calm him down, to say good job, to say congratulations. Them soothing feelings continue to exist. And that's why we call them pacifying behaviours, such as the baby calming down, sucking on a pacifier, right? When it gets worked up. But let's take the pacifying behaviour. Is the person sitting across from you who you're dating rubbing onto the lips of themselves, stimulating the lips like what the pacifier did as a baby? I sleep in a particular way, which is reminiscent of how I slept whilst I was young. We hold on and we keep these comforting behaviours, and they manifest themselves within communication with other people and on dates especially, right? But then you start to look at things from a different perspective, and is the girl who is rubbing on her lip or got her hand to her lip or touching her lip not only pacifying and cooling herself down and calming herself down, is she actually subconsciously also raising attraction to her lips? Do they look kissable? What else is going on? Is her wrist exposed as she do so? Let's have a look at where they're touching as far as pacifying. Are they touching erogenous zones? Is the neck being caressed? Is the wrist being caressed? Is she attracting your gaze towards her chest in a slightly manner? Outside of her own awareness, but this is natural, animalistic gesturing, posturing for what may come. How is that nervous energy being released? Because the most confident man might be sitting there cool, calm and relaxed. But you know very well that the majority of men isn't the most confident, comfortable man. And even the most comfortable and confident man might start to sweat it a little bit if the woman brings up his ex-partner, her ex-partner, something he's uncomfortable with. She might shit test him. She might intentionally try to wind him up. And in doing so, might evoke a response, a physical response from him. Okay, boom, gotcha. And now, considering you've paid attention to the information upon this channel, you'll be able to trigger these reactions and understand, right? You've been in a relationship for 5 years and your partner's come back late one night. Hey, excuse me, where have you been? Okay. You weren't with somebody, were you? Sit back and watch, observe. This is where this understanding of pacifying behaviours and self-soothing behaviours and gestures comes in handy, because you will be able to communicate efficiently and observe the reaction, the truthful reaction. You will be able to read minds. It's an everyday superpower. How do you do it? How do you do it? How do you do it? I self-harm. How mad is that? But I don't self-harm in the way you would think. I don't start cutting myself. What I do is, when I'm worried, anxious, stressed, I will pick the skin off of my fingertips. I will pick at my nails. Cut my nails, alright? When I was young and silly, I would pick up my lips, but then I grew up and realised it was unsightly and a very bad habit. But that habit continued to exist, and I still needed a way to release that nervous energy, so I moved to my fingertips as to where I could conceal it a little bit better. Yeah, my fingers look rough sometimes, but I'm not walking down the street and people are looking at my fingertips. So that's one of my prominent and quiet characteristic soothing behaviours. What are yours? You should let me know. You should let the people who pay attention to this information know in the comments below. Let's discuss. Everybody's got it, and there's only such a broad spectrum as to where these behaviours land. There's not 100 million different things somebody can do with their body, alright? Especially within the self-soothing realm. When it comes to self-touch, we are able to assess it, analyse it and understand it dependent on what the person could be thinking or what they're going through at that particular moment in time. We need to assess the environment, the situation, whether it's clustered in with any other behaviours. I'm going to leave that there. It's a whole world. Like I said, I've got every single behaviour listed off on this channel, so I don't want to generalise it with a video like this. But that's dating volume 2. That's self-soothing behaviours, pacifying behaviours. Potentially sexual behaviour, because think of what's happening. It's self-touch. They are touching themselves. How are they doing it? Are they nervous or are they sexual? Are they sensual in what they do? Thanks for watching. I'm signing out. Peace.